Hey friends, this is a big week because Google just concluded their Google Marketing Live and their Google I/O conference. Now, if you don't know what I/O and you don't know what Google Marketing Live is, no worries. Google I/O is where Google announces their latest and greatest technology. And so, not surprisingly, this year they focused a lot about AI, artificial intelligence. Google Marketing Live is also where Google announces a lot of their latest and greatest, but it's focused more on the advertising and the search side. And so this year they actually had them on back-to-back days. And so it concluded this week. And so last year I had a reactions video, and I thought that I would go live this year. Wasn't as soon. This is actually Saturday at the time of the recording, but I've got a few thoughts that I want to share with you. So I've got three big things, three big announcements that will impact your business in the near future. Then I want to share with you just three really cool things that Google announced. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So the first thing that I want to share with you is that Google announced that their AI mode is launching to everyone in the United States. Now, if you don't know what Google AI mode is, I have a video demo on it. But it is essentially a conversational search agent that you communicate with. It's based off of Google's AI, powered by Gemini, and it's a back and forth conversation where you receive answers in real time. And with AI mode, Google will actually search the internet. And so when you type in a query into AI mode, what you'll see is it will say Google is searching, 30 websites to compile this answer. And then Google will actually answer whatever it is that you type in. Now, there's a lot of pressure out there for Google to actually switch their default search engine. So if you remember the days where you would type in a search, you would have a couple of advertisements, and then you would have 10 organic results. Obviously, things have changed since then. But there's a lot of pressure for Google to actually make AI mode their default search engine. Now, this could be huge. And the reason why is because the referral traffic from AI mode to websites is significantly less than the standard search results. And so Google didn't even share any numbers in their Google I/O or Google Marketing Live for how much referral traffic takes a hit. I've seen some studies out there that the referral traffic from AI mode can be 1/40th the amount from the typical search results page. So think about that for a second. SEO is going to change forever if Google goes down the path that it looks like they're going down and they lean into AI mode even more. So they announced that everyone in the United States can have access to it. And it's just absolutely crazy. They even went as far as on the Google search. When I log into Google search on my desktop, I can actually see an AI mode button right there at the Google home screen. Now, this is absolutely huge. So even if Google decides at some point in time that AI mode is not their future, there's more and more people that are going to start to use AI mode over standard search. And so what will happen as a result? Well, that will decrease the amount of organic traffic that you get to your website. If Google goes all in on AI mode, it will be a huge impact. If Google only does it 20% of the time, that will still be a big impact. So if your business has relied on organic traffic primarily, there could be some tough times ahead. It's not to say that you won't get any traffic, but it will be significantly less. And Google is taking steps in the direction. And I do think at some point in time, the AI mode experience or a version of it will be the standard search results. Now, the second thing that I want to discuss, this is on the Google ad side. And I actually think that this is a bigger deal than most. I've watched a few reaction videos. I think that this is a bigger deal than what most people are actually saying about it. What Google revealed is they call it Agentic Checkout. So what this means is users can be searching for products on Google, and then you would typically see the shopping results, and you would click on one of the shopping results, land on a website, browse that website, and then check out. Well, if a agentic checkout as Google, if it's as they say, what will happen is there will actually be a button to check out directly from Google search. Now, what would happen is the user would click the button, and then Google's AI would actually go on the website, add the product to the cart, check out, and then Google tried this a few years ago. It was called Buy with Google, but it's a lot of work from the actual advertisers and the actual merchants to make it happen. And so it was it was relatively a flop. A lot of advertisers didn't adopt it. The people that saw the Buy with Google button were curious as to what it actually did. But this is huge because this will take zero work from the merchant or the advertiser. And what scares me about this announcement is if there's businesses out there that, when a user browses their website, maybe they add 2 or 3 or 4 items to the cart. Well, if this agentic checkout happens, I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more single purchase transactions. And so if your business relies on average order value and a high number of items at checkout, this would be devastating to you because it would be single hit transactions, a single product that would be that the AI would actually go on your website and check out, and then you'd get the confirmation message. So huge, huge, huge. We'll see what transpires with that. But if it rolls out like Google was saying that it will, it's going to be a huge change. The last thing that I want to talk about, and this is also on the advertising front, is Google has revealed AI Max for search campaigns. Now, this one wasn't a shocker to me because over the past several years, Google released their Performance Max campaigns, which is a heavily automated, heavy AI campaign type that goes across Google's entire network of placements. I've done a ridiculous number of videos on Performance Max. And then Google has Demand Gen. One of the most recent videos on this channel is about Demand Gen campaigns. And so Google has obviously been heading in the direction of automation and AI inside of Google Ads. Now, this specific announcement, AI Max for search campaigns, I heard one influencer say it's kind of like having a Performance Max like search campaign. So you would create a search campaign and there would just be a lot of options where, if you are inputting your keywords, AI Max can go beyond the keywords that you input. If you input a specific landing page or a final URL, a destination URL for advertisers to land on, it can go beyond that. Google will determine what the best landing page on your website is for advertisers. Now, the stats that they touted from the AI Max seem pretty promising, but there's one big thing that I want to call out, and it's a lack of control. I mean, things have been heading in this direction, but if you're a control freak in Google Ads, AI Max is not going to be the setting that you want to enable because you will lose a ton of control. At some point, I could see a Google Ads where there are no keywords. Obviously, there would be no keyword match types. And AI Max for search is heading in that direction. So we'll see how it shakes out. So again, the 3 things that I want to call out was AI mode being released to the masses in the United States and how big of an impact that's going to have on organic search traffic. Like, for example, if you had, 10 years ago, 90% of your traffic came from organic and 10% came from paid, with AI mode, I mean, that's going to be flipped. It's going to be 10% is organic and 90% is paid. And so if you don't have some type of advertising for your business and you want to grow your traffic over the years, I would almost say that paid advertising is going to be a must for you. So that was the first one. The second one was the Agentic Checkout, where Google's AI actually checks out for people. So you could be browsing a product in the search results page, and there's a button for the AI to actually check out for you. My fear with that is that it would lead to a lot of single purchase transactions, and there would be a significant hit to average order value for you e-commerce businesses. And then the last thing, AI Max and search campaigns, which is kind of like Performance Max mixed with search, where you still have a lot of the same settings, but Google can just go beyond all the settings almost that you input in that campaign. Okay, so now those are three big announcements. I want to highlight three really cool things that Google came out with. The first thing is Google released VO3, their AI video generator. Now, this thing is next level. Essentially, think of it like this. You've probably used ChatGPT or Google Gemini where you type in prompts. Well, imagine that you have the ability to type in a prompt and then an actual video clip is created for you based on the prompt that you typed in. Now, there are some wild examples on the internet. In the past week, there was a fake pharmaceutical advertisement that went viral that was created with this VO3 technology. And it was so realistic. It was so good. And so the ability to create video and create video fast is only going to get better from here. I always tell people this is the worst that it's ever going to be. And so there could be a day in the near future where movies are completely created by AI and advertisements that your business creates, and maybe even YouTube videos. Maybe I'll be replaced by VO3 or a later version of it. That would have a huge impact because you could essentially upload a script or upload a prompt, and then the video would be created for you. So that was really cool. Next up, and this is with Google Search, they announced an AI try-on feature. So this is big if you're in the apparel industry, where using AI, users can actually see what the outfit that you're selling, the shirt, whatever it is, how it would look on them. And Google touted it, and it does look extremely promising. I'm sure it's not 100% accurate, but it gave you a ballpark representation of what you would look like in that shirt or that sweater or whatever. So that was really cool. And then the last one that I want to announce, cool thing, was Google unveiled their marketing advisor, which is an AI sidekick for advertisers. I have some mixed thoughts on this. Okay. So the marketing advisor, the way that they were pitching it was that there's a lot of small businesses out there that their budgets are just not large enough to receive hands-on help from legitimate Google reps. Like, I've done a video on this channel about the extended workforce with Google, but it's not a true full-time Google employee. And even if you do get a Google rep or an extended workforce person reach out to you, a lot of the time the recommendations are for you to grow your spend. And yes, they will have some recommendations that are good for you, but it almost feels like the primary objective is for you to increase their spend. And so the recommendations are based off of that. And so I have no doubt that the AI marketing advisor is going to share a lot of that same sentiment. But the really cool thing with the marketing advisor was that it can actually fix things and make code changes to certain website platforms. And it can do it for you, which would be a huge time saver for small and medium-sized businesses. So the example that they gave was something like Google was noting that you aren't receiving any conversions. And the reason why was because your Google tag wasn't set up correctly. And then it offered to actually fix it for you. And so if you have the proper connections and you have this a website platform that the marketing advisor can use, it could actually log in and edit the code of your website, or at least input the ID of your Google tag and fix that for you. Now, think about 5 to 10 years ago. That was a task that you would have had to hire a developer if you didn't have any coding experience, or hire someone that just knew HTML to be able to fix. And now Google is actually going to be able to do that for you. So that is a huge, huge, huge plus. I know so many small businesses that, Google Ads, it never really worked for them. And one of the main reasons why was because they didn't have proper conversion tracking set up. And so for you to get proper conversion tracking, it's simply you having a conversation with the Google marketing advisor. And then if it asks you if you want it to fix your conversion tracking, and you just say yes, and then it does it automatically. Huge time saver. More and more businesses will start to have proper conversion tracking if that's the case. And I'm sure that the marketing advisor can do a lot more than that. So in summary, I hope that was helpful. There were 3 notable things that I wanted to share with you at the beginning, and then 3 really cool things. So I hope that was helpful for you. I'm excited, and I'm going to have to keep this tradition going and do a recap of Google I/O and Google Marketing Live in the future. Thank you so much. Take care.